Hey, welcome back to Trading Truths, where we do trading as it is. No bullshitting, no theory, no back testing and showing what happened before and how our theories worked out, but actually looking at the chart, marking up the chart, working out our strategy, and then placing the patterns of where I see the chart moving, where I see the price going, and then waiting for some time and seeing whether I was right or wrong. I'm right sometimes, I'm wrong sometimes, but always there's learning in the process. And whether you're starting out or you've done trading before, you'll find something useful in this video. Let's start. Today we are looking at USDCAD, and as you can see in this chart, we have the main chart of USDCAD and we have RSI. The only reason I have RSI is because I use it to look for divergence. Divergence is when the RSI shows something else and the chart shows something else, which means that there's a chance that the trend will reverse. Just to give you an example, this is merely to give you an example of what I do. This is what the chart is showing, moving upwards here, and the RSI in the meanwhile is showing downwards. There's divergence, and as the divergence ended, the trend reversed. It's gone from an upward trend to a downward trend. That's all. Now let's get rid of these two arrows and start our actual process of analyzing this chart. I like to start off by looking at 4 hours because that gives me a big picture of what is going on. And as I can see, we were in a upward trend over here, and then it's starting to move in a somewhat downward trend. It's almost ranging for a while. In 4 hours, if we get a little closer to the price, we can see that for the time being the trend is downwards in 4 hours. So we can almost say that after this lower low there was a higher low, after this lower high there was a higher high and then a higher low, and but after that again lower low, and has gone on to get lower lows and higher highs and lower highs. So right now the trend is bucked a little bit, because as you can see, after this lower high we have a lower low, we have a lower high, we have a lower low, but then this high has just broken this level over here and it's gone above it. So the downward trend may be going into a ranging trend, a sideways trend. So over here what I would like to mark is some levels, and I can clearly see a couple of levels that will have an impact right now. One is definitely here. This is a level where the price is being used as support and resistance, and we'll put one level over here. The second level I see is around here. That's a slightly, it's not as strong a level as the previous one, so we'll also put it here, but we'll just see how this works out. Yep. And one important level is over here, which is where price is at right now. So this is definitely a very relevant level right now. Mark it up. I would mark it up with making it a little narrower, because this is where I'd like to put this level at. So these are 3 important levels around the price where we are right now. There is a minor level here also. There's a minor, as you can see, this level is also there. Let me put a very small thin line over here just to mark it out, because yes, it will play a role somewhere. This level is there. It's a small, not as many touches as the other levels up till now, but yeah, it's there. So these are the 4 hour levels that I see. As far as the trend lines are concerned, there is a trend line going from here, which is moving more or less like this. I would place it here. Yeah, this is how I place it, and let's give this a blue color, since that's the color we're using for 4 hours. Now this trend line has been broken, so there's a chance that it will retest and then move upwards, or we'll have to see. So this is all the information that I see in the 4 hour, and I think we can put a Fibonacci over here, point A to point B. This is not really doing anything much. If this is point A, this is point B, then its retrace is till about 61.8, which meant that it should have meant that it should have gone on to minus 61%. So there's been a second retrace that's almost gone to 78.6. So according to this Fibonacci retracement tool, it should now drop down to minus 27 for sure, and then even further. But let's see how it works out once we get into the smaller time frames. I just want to remove auto fit data on screen for a while. I'll just toggle this and a little bit to show you. So according to this fib retracement, point A to point B here, it went back to 61, but it again arrived over here, so we'll have to push this back here. So this becomes point A, this becomes point B. Other option is that we take this point A to point B. Now according to this, it has gone back a full 100. That means it's not a reversal, but it's going to go back completely from here. That is what the 4R is saying, using a fib. Let me put auto fit data back on, and now this is all that I think I'll be able to analyze the 4R. Let me see if there are any major long-term trend lines that we need to look at. This one definitely is a trend line that we should look at. The other major levels are here, but the price is too far away from them. We don't need to look at them right now. Okay, I think I can move to the 1R now to see what's happening at the 1R. Okay, so there are further trends within the 4R trends in the 1R. Look at this here. What I'll do is I'll for now remove this fib and look at placing a new one. So just to start off, let's see how this works. It to be this at about 38. Let me just remove auto fits data and see. So this was supposed to have gone till at least 27. It did. Now it has moved back. So this fib again and see what we can do over here. There's very little we can do over here. I'm getting auto fit back on. Now let's look at the levels. Do we see any new levels in 1R? Not really. There are no actual new levels. There is a level over here though. Yes, this is clearly an important level at 1R. This one has been used as a resistance. Mostly it broke out once. Has acted somewhat like a support over here, but mostly as a resistance. So we have a strong resistance over here for a price movement. Now it is moving downwards. So okay, let's give this 1R a different color. Let's give it orange. Yeah, this is the 1R level. In terms of trend lines, I think there was a trend line option over here, but it's almost the same as that. But we could use this trend line over here. This looks like a retest happening over there. I think we should have one trend line drawn from here to here. Make this orange to show that it's 1R. Now this trend line is coming in for a retest over here. It broke the bigger trend line here. Then this 1R trend line was broken over here and seems to be coming for a retest. That means it could go back up here. But the overall trend, as you can see, is downward. So let's have a quick look at the RSI. The RSI is not showing any divergence over here. Now it did show divergence here. This is going up, this is going down. So that means reversal in the direction. It is not very pronounced, but definitely it's there. So if but this is now again the same direction as RSI. So okay, fine, something worth considering and keeping in mind. What about the news? 2 hours ago, yen under pressure, Aussie slides as inflation slows. So yen and Aussie, dollar flat, Aussie slides and inflation slows. Global Forex, this is 5 hours ago. What's the next news that's coming up? That's some time away. Fed Chair Powell's speech. Okay. So news is not going to impact in the next couple of hours. So we're going to now study this chart a little more. Let's look at 30 minutes. They're coming closer to the action. 15 minutes is where I actually place my trades if I see that the market is amenable to a trade. 30 minutes is giving me a better view of what is going on here. Are there any trend lines or levels, new levels at 30 minutes? No, everything seems to be covered. As far as trend line goes, there could be one here, but I think that will be overkill. This is a level that broke through, tested it, it's gone up. Okay, let's get down to the real time frame where everything happens, where the action happens. 15 minutes. Is there a divergence? This is moving up, this is also slightly upward, but there's divergence here. Okay, there is clear divergence here. Let's look at this divergence at 15 minutes. This is interesting. This is going up and this is going down. So there is divergence. That means there might be a change in direction. So right now it is moving. The tendency was to break the previous high and move upwards, but it's now moving back down. So I would say a downward movement is a higher probability right now. Let's look at it a little more closely. However, this current candle has a lot of buying pressure. Even this one has a long wick downwards. That means though the sellers are trying to pull it down, the buyers are pulling it back up. So this is a level in the 15 minutes that we need to consider. Let me mark it up here. Definitely need to consider this. We'll give it a green color. Yeah, this is a 15-minute level. Are there any other levels that are worth keeping in mind? Not really. Others are covered. There is a minor level over here, but it's almost at the level of this 4-hour level. And as far as trend lines go, what I see is a retest of this level, a second retest. If it breaks through this, should go down till here. I see it at least touching this trend line and taking support or breaking through. Let's use some fibs over here. If you see if you can get anything out. 23 means continuation over the level that it's working at right now. Let's have a look at another fib over here, which is more of a back test. Went down to 38 and then as expected came down to minus 61, and now the reversal after 61 going in the reverse direction. Okay, let's take a closer look at the candles. This current trend is higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and maybe it's a higher low over here if you don't consider the wicks. So looking at all the data here and looking at the levels, let's try and see if we can, let me just remove the, okay, no, it doesn't matter. Let's just try and see if I can use a fib over here to see what is happening here. I'll just remove the auto fit. If the correction, if this is the impulse right now and this is the correction, it's come to almost the same level of 100, then we should see the price going back up to at least minus 27 and minus 61. There is one major level here that has already been breached. This level has not yet been breached, though historically it has breached the level quite a few times. So here is my assessment after looking at the price movement, the levels, and I think there's a clear trend line that I would like to place over here. This effect, okay. Now this is going to be green because it's 15 minutes. Make it a green. Now I put it back to auto fit. Let's see. Yep. Okay, this is what my assessment is right now. I'm going to put the bars pattern that I think is going to show what's going to happen here. This is where I see the price moving from here. Then I see the price moving like this. So here it is. This is my bar pattern for the next couple of hours. What my assessment is that these candles are clearly showing that it's going to move up now, and it has already breached this level. This is a 4-hour level, and I feel it will breach it again. It might just come back to retest it, then it will go on to this next level, which is a 1-hour level. I'll just consolidate here for a little while and then go on to hit minus 61 and maybe the trend line over here. So this is what I feel is going to be the movement of the price. We will now come back to this and check whether my assessment has worked correctly or not. So I'll be back in some time with how it all worked out. Hi, we are back, and this is a couple of hours later, and I'm pretty pleased to see that the way I had predicted or the way I had analyzed the price is going to move. Almost the same thing has happened. In fact, it went higher than what I predicted, and it moved in almost the same way. So what I had felt was that from here it would move up a bit and then consolidate around this region, and that is more or less what it did. The price consolidated here, and then it would move up to the trend line, the 15-minute trend line. So I felt that this level over here, it would it would stay around this level for a while, but it did not do that. It just went straight up, cut right through, hit the trend line, in fact broke it, and then is now back to this level. So yes, if we had placed a long trade here with a target of 1.32512 or so, we would have made a very good trade. Let me just see in terms of pips how much it would have been. That's about 36 pips, and I think I would have gone ahead and raised it to at least to the trend line, the green trend line. So about 40 pips we would have made, which is pretty decent. It could have got us a very good profit. So I would say my assessment for USDCAD was pretty good, and it more or less followed the route that I thought it would follow, except that it rose higher a little earlier and it went much higher than I expected. So the even the Fibonacci 61 minus 61 level was broken and it went beyond that. So yes, this trade was a good one. And in trading truths, there is no trying to say something and show something. We do the analysis, we mark the charts, we figure out where the price is going to be, and then I put the bar pattern, and then we just go and check the results, right or wrong. So yes, this has turned out good. I'm pretty happy, and I'd be very happy if you would put in your comments and liked this video, and also shared and subscribed to our channel. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.